Inherited beliefs shrink us. Lived experiences expand us. If you've ever felt a resistance towards authority, if you've ever felt disgruntled towards your parents, if you've ever thought to yourself, why is this person telling me what to do? I urge you to tune into this transmission. Peace and love, y'all. Hello and welcome back to another moment of stillness. This is part 2 of No Place Like Om, Europe's biggest yoga tour. My name is Itai Atula, and as we speak, I am in London, coming to you live from the banks of the River Thames on the south side, right near the Tate Modern Museum, right near the Millennium Bridge. Looking at St. Paul's Cathedral across the river, feeling such deep gratitude for the fact that this journey has become a reality. If you're new here, I'm currently on a huge tour all across Europe, teaching free yoga classes to the people who need it most. Before that, I spent 1 year solo traveling all across Asia, studying under ancient yoga masters, and now I'm delivering that knowledge back to the Western world. So here we are in London on my first stop. Tomorrow is the very first yoga class, and today I had a nice little day off. And the things that I experienced today inspire me to deliver this message. I've been wanting to articulate it for a long time, but I haven't quite figured out how until now. Let me tell you what I mean. You know, when you come to a city like London, everyone's going to tell you to do a different thing. Go to this place, go to that place. You better see the Big Ben. You better ride the London Eye. You better visit Buckingham Palace. I could go on and on. Y'all get the vibe. And today, I didn't do any of that stuff. I had the whole day to myself, and I just walked slowly with my lovely friend Son, who's here helping me with the tour. We walked slowly down the street. We found ourselves in parks, on buses, walking here down the river. And I bet I had just as much fun, if not more fun, than I would have had if I was doing all the things I should do. That's the beauty of solo travel. It forces you to get to know yourself, to get to know what you prefer. You have to make so many decisions on a daily basis that if you're indecisive, solo travel is the best cure. You have to decide what to eat, where to stay, which way to turn on the street. The decisions never end, and eventually they start to just feel like creative choices. We start to remember that the real art is not the finished products we create, but the lived experience that we're moving through every day. It's an ongoing process. Your life is your greatest masterwork. A lot of people don't realize that till it's too late, so let this be a reminder. Acknowledge now how grateful you are for the masterpiece that is your life. Notice the brushstrokes you wouldn't usually pay attention to. Take a deep breath right now and give gratitude to a few underrated parts of your life you might have forgot about. What makes those little bits so magical? Those are lived experiences, firsthand, primary source. I led this transmission by saying, inherited beliefs shrink us, lived experiences expand us. I believe that as humans, we are born pure. We are born as angels. And then we undergo a lot of societal programming that puts a lot of rules in our head. We hear things like, don't jump on the table and start twerking. Don't eat, that is bad for you. Don't go out in the rain, you'll catch a cold. You better eat 3 meals a day. Make sure to get 8 hours of sleep. These are all things that we hear and we follow, some of us more blindly than others. And I almost called this, please don't take my word for it. Because if you're receiving this transmission, chances are you saw my face for the first time when I was teaching you something about yoga. And something I've been thinking about recently is it kind of breaks my heart that I know so many people will see these videos about yoga tips, be like, oh, that sounds interesting, and not actually try it. That's why in all of my captions, I always write, try this at home. Oh my God. It means so much to me because if you hear something, you might remember it, but it also might just go in one ear and out the other. If you experience something though, you will never forget it. If you take any yoga pose I suggest and you actually do it, then your body will never forget that feeling. Your brain will say, oh, I get it, this is nice. And it will be stored in your consciousness on a physiological level. It won't just be a little fleeting memory. Listen, there's a bit of a hierarchy to how likely we are to retain some information. At the bottom of that hierarchy is short videos. Slightly above that is something long form like what we're doing right now. Above that is reading a book, and above that is experience firsthand, getting your hands dirty, trying something out, doing it for yourself, not just hearing about it or reading about it. Inherited beliefs shrink us. Lived experiences expand us. I encourage you right now to take stock of what are some of the rules that you've been following that you heard from a parent or from a teacher or from a role model or from a book or from the internet that you don't have any firsthand experience to back up. I once heard somebody say, if you have a belief that's not backed up by personal experience, it's not your belief, it's somebody else's belief. That's what I'm trying to get at here. And there's nothing more freeing than busting one of these myths, than trying something for yourself and realizing, oh, I should have been listening to myself this whole time. Because the T is nobody knows you better than you know yourself. No yoga teacher knows your body better than you know your body. No counselor knows your psyche better than you know your psyche. And I really believe that the most dangerous word in the English language is should. Because just by saying this word, saying I should blank, I'm setting up a discrepancy between who I am and who I ideally would like to be. Every time I utter the word should, I'm telling myself you are not enough already. Also, I'm starting a petition to abolish the word try from our vocabulary. If you're saying, oh, I'm gonna try this, you are once again implying that there is room for failure, that there is room to not keep your own word to yourself. Replace I'll try with I will. Replace I should with I will. And see how your life transforms. That's you taking the inherited belief of hearing from somebody else that you should do something, that something else might be best for you, versus taking matters into your own hands and realizing, nah, I'm in control here. I know what's best for me. Nobody else can decide that for me. So it would have been so easy for me today to be like, oh, I should go to this museum. I should see this old church. I should try this food. But I feel so much more gratified having discovered my own London. Having discovered something I wouldn't have ever dreamed of coming across. Something I never could have predicted. I left myself open. I'll put it this way. Our physical mind thinks that it knows what's best for us, but it really has no clue. Because our physical mind is made up of programming, made up of beliefs. Your higher mind, your divine consciousness is trying to steer the wheel of the car, but your physical mind won't let go of the wheel, won't let go of control. We think that manifestation is meant to be choosing exactly what you want and pulling it towards you. Actually, what you want might not come to you in the way that you expect it to. And beyond that, you don't have to pull it towards you, it's dying to reach you. The things that are meant for you want nothing more than to reach you. And so I like to think of manifestation as just clearing out all the things that aren't serving you to make room for all the things that are yearning to find you to rush in effortlessly. So think to yourself now, once again, what are these beliefs that I inherited that are stopping me back from accepting things that surprise me? What life path are you so committed to, so focused on with tunnel vision that you're not recognizing the blessings that come into your life as blessings? There's a word for this in Sanskrit called swadhyaya, which translates to self-study in English. Swadhyaya teaches us that we are born knowing everything we need to know. No amount of books or teachers can teach us what our own body is yearning to teach us. The problem is because of our programming, because of our distractions, because of our society, we hardly listen. That's why yogis meditate. That's why yogis spend so much time just doing nothing. Because once you enter a silent environment, and I'm not just talking about audio, I'm talking about letting stimuli of any kind fall away. The little whispers become so much louder. We start to see that our body has been telling us things all along that we just weren't hearing. We start to realize, oh, maybe this food isn't so good for me. Maybe I don't need more sleep. Maybe I just don't have a good wind down routine before bed. We start to replace the things that we heard are good with the things that actually feel good. And let's be honest, in our culture, there's a lot of shame around this topic. People don't want to do the things they really want to do because they want to appear virtuous in the eyes of others. A lot of the times, we just let ourselves suffer because we want to seem like good people, which is pretty ironic because that doesn't help anybody, especially not us, but definitely not anybody else either. And because I had such a slow and intuitive and idiosyncratic day here in London today, I feel so ready to teach yoga tomorrow to a big class of beautiful angels. Because the best way to start listening to yourself and having your own lived experiences is through seeing somebody else do that too. Not copying what they're doing, but seeing them doing their own thing and thinking that inspires me to do my own thing. Think about your favorite teachers on the planet, your role models, your mentors, people you look up to, even idolize. Chances are you probably like a few specific things that they did, but beneath that is an admiration for the energy that they carry, the spirit of freedom, the spirit of bravery and exploration. And that is what I hope you take away from this transmission. You know, I love sharing breathing techniques that will help you fall asleep easier. I love sharing stretches for your back pain, ways to get rid of jaw tension, XYZ, etc., etc. But the role of the teacher is not to tell you exactly what to do. The role of the teacher is to give you a little nudge that raises your confidence in your intuition. Because I might be wrong. I'm telling you what works for me and what's worked for my students. But like I said, nobody knows your body and mind better than you do. I'm not giving you a demand, I'm giving you an invitation. So once again, please do not take my word for it. Please always try it at home, especially if it seems exciting. Worst case, it redirects you towards something else that might work better. But best case, it allows you to feel exactly what I was talking about so you don't have to take my word for it. Inherited beliefs shrink us, lived experiences expand us. The biggest favor you can do for yourself, for any of the people around you that you love, that see you every day, is to live your most authentic life. Not the life that you've been told to live, not the life you feel like you should live. Following your highest passion at every given moment. As your passion changes, redirecting your pursuits to follow that passion. Following that passion to the highest of your ability with no insistence on the outcome. Letting go of things you don't actually want in order to make room for the things that are dying to reach you to actually make their way into your heart. And this is the trippiest part of this whole thing for me, is that a lot of the time we know we're choosing something that doesn't serve us. The whole letting go of the bad to make room for the good thing is easier said than done. Because I know I shouldn't scroll on my phone, but I still do it sometimes. Everyone has an example of a thing that they compulsively choose even though they know it's not the best choice. Here's the trippy thing. We are all choosing that because we believe in some way that it serves us. My conjecture is that humans are incapable of choosing something that they don't believe benefits them in some way. So even the thing that you're not proud of, even the thing you're ashamed of, embarrassed of, the habit you want to quit, the neural pathway you want to rewrite, it stays ingrained because you have a belief that it's doing something positive for you. Maybe it's protecting you. Maybe it's keeping you small and out of harm's way. I urge you to examine why the very thing you're hoping to change about yourself is still being chosen? How is it serving you? And admitting that, the benefit, the positive that you get from the things you don't want to choose, that will make the cessation of the choice so much more natural. I hope you know that when I say these things, I'm really talking to myself. I'm really hyping myself up, because life is just a constant process of remembering and forgetting and remembering and forgetting, isn't it? It's so funny how that works. I'm so thankful for these transmissions because they give me an opportunity to reflect. They give me an opportunity to talk to myself, to connect with my higher self. And if you glean anything from these words, I'll be so thankful. If you do, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know. I'd love to hear, what is that thing you're choosing even though you don't want to choose it? How's that thing benefiting you? What is one inherited belief you've been carrying your whole life? What is one lived experience that shattered your framework? I'll tell you some of mine. When I went to Nepal for the first time, it was my first time in Asia, and oh my God, I could never see New York City the same way again. Before I went to India, people were saying to me, you know, there's a lot of crime, people aren't trustworthy, trying to scare me. And I carried that inherited belief when I entered the country. But my lived experience was a complete contradiction, and it made me realize how safe I was and how silly I was to believe something that I merely heard. You know, they say don't believe everything you hear. I really think that phrase exists for a reason. They say enlightenment is just the difference between closed eyes and opened eyes. Let me know, what is that moment in your life where you experienced something firsthand that really opened your eyes? Thank you for joining me here on the bank of the River Thames in South London. I love you so much. And this tour is just getting started. I got 20 whole yoga classes to teach in about 20 different cities. Oh my God, I can't wait to show y'all where I'm going next. I'll continue sharing these transmissions every step along the way, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. I so appreciate you giving me your time today. I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for inviting yoga into your life. Thank you for embarking on the path of growth and expansion. I love you dearly. You are so strong. You know exactly what is right for you. Your intuition is always correct. Thank you for listening to it. I'll leave you with this affirmation you can repeat to yourself. Nothing that's meant for me can pass me by. Nothing that is meant for me could ever pass me by. I'll catch you next time. Peace and love.